another thing we need to deal with, okay, is whether or not you want to use the Prox switch. Okay, in this case, we need a Prox switch for home, but after that, I think you want to run soft stops, soft limits. Okay, this bar is past this plate right now by bringing it that far forward, so the bar can be moved back, and you can keep. Well, let me go around to the other side and show you. Okay, so we're looking here at the rail that holds the blocks for the limit switch. Okay, so I have these two blocks as far apart as I can get them, and the Prox switch is going to trip pretty darn close to the edge of it. Okay, so there's roughly a foot between them, and at first you're looking at that going, you know, man, that's when you start setting things up, you start thinking, man, that's nowhere near the 15 inches. In order to get to use the Prox switches at the 15-inch limit, I think there's an option. I think it involves switching out the rail from the X travel. Okay, and the other challenge is that in order to get the 15 inches, this bar is going to end up being longer. This bar is going to end up being even long. You know, it's going to have to stick out here a little more. So in order to make that work, it means taking this screw out, moving it, okay, maybe putting it right up on the angle here, the chamfer, the slant, whatever the heck, and move the whole bar back to where, you know, the blocks will line up right over the Prox switch. It seemed, no, that doesn't work. I think that's part of it, but in moving this back further, because you need another 3 inches, this is already past the end here. So this has to come back a ½ inch to an inch, which puts it over here. But to get your other 3 inches, 3.5 inches, you're gonna have to move the Prox switch. This part of the foot stand here is not used with the new stand. I would imagine that you could possibly just drill a hole right where you need it here, and if the Prox switch is tall enough, put it up there. Otherwise, since you're moving the block, if you're going to drill holes, different holes in the saddle as opposed to different holes in the channel, you could move it down, okay? Or just, you know, make a sheet metal bracket or whatever to mount onto here that'll hold the Prox switch. I'm not going to worry about that so much. I'm going to run it back and forth here so you can see the full limit from under this side. And this is one of the things that I've contemplated messing with before putting the chip trays on. Okay, I'm just not sure I'm that worried about it anymore. I was at first, and I spent a good bit of time trying to figure this out and everything like that, and wasted a lot of time. What I need to find out now is if I can use it as a home switch, have it hit home, but then have a negative soft stop. Okay, so then that way basically I can travel past this point. I'm not positive I can yet or not. I really don't know. I'm talking to myself here for the most part. That is what I want to find out. So what I got to find out is, I think if this overlaps, then I need to move this back anyway. I'm not positive about the hole spacing, but I can just drill a new hole in the channel if need be, and just move this back and set the Prox switch where I want home. Yeah, since that's the farthest I can come forward, yeah, really all I have to do is move this thing back another 2 inches, 1.5 inches, and that'll give me my ability to go to my home switch and reach my maximum Y. Okay, so let's grab the pendant and let's go the other direction. Whoa. Okay, so it looks like it needs to be split. The extra 3 inches, I need 1.5 inches. Can you guys see that? You need an extra 1.5 inches back here on this end, and you need an extra 1.5 inches here. This is why the Prox switch has to move. And it's, God, it would almost work. You could almost just drill a hole right there, and then put the whole 3 inches on the end there. Because if you make this bar, this channel come out anymore, you're going to be hitting the front sheet metal. So it'd be better to have that whole thing moved back further anyway. La 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 la. Just not sure I want to mess with it or deal with it right now, you know what I mean? Suppose I could, I just got to do it quickly. I figured I'd just show you a slightly different view, you know, being able to put that proc switch like right there, and modify, you know, and you could probably just drill holes into the side here, but you're going to have a clearance hole here for the bottom of the proc switch. But you could mount the sheet metal piece, but you'd have to modify it a bit. The bottom edge of the sheet metal is way too long. It's down there to protect the wires on the proc switch. So the whole piece could get moved up a little bit, 3/8 of an inch, but it's still not going to clear this. And you're not going to want to cut out a big enough chunk out of this to clear that. So, you know, you might as well just put a hole in there for the proc switch to drop into wiring-wise and stuff. And like I said before, and possibly even just make it enough that you can just mount the switch right there and have it come up. You know, maybe move the rail down or make the blocks a little longer. Since I'm only using the switch for homing and not soft limits, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount the bar in such a way that it goes back so I don't have to hit the, since I'm looking to put the chip trays on, and that hose. Ouch. And if I'm going to do that, really no point in turning those over. Let's bring that up.